is a research stream. You want to know something weird? I did a video already of Forsaken on the PlayStation 1. And I sat there for half an hour. I remember I played the game for about an hour. I tried 3 different control schemes. And I found a control scheme that I felt somewhat comfortable playing with. But it just never really worked for me. It just felt the entire time like I was sort of I was always struggling with the controls. I was always compromising. Do I want to move? Do I want to move up, down, left, or right? Do I want my nose to point up or down? Am I willing to compromise in some way before playing this game? And I cheated by playing this game another way. I cheated by I don't want to say I cheated. I messed around with the multiplayer mode with the default control scheme. I looked at it and I said, okay, maybe I can make this work. And you know what? It works. It works a lot better than the PlayStation 1 version did, despite the full key rebinding. This game does not have full key rebinding. I'll show you. Go back to the main menu and show you that. This game has a default control scheme that seems to work a little bit better with this N64 control stick, which I'm shocked by. I'm more shocked than you are, because I'm the guy who sat there for an hour trying to play Goldeneye for the first time in 2 decades and getting frustrated because I didn't feel comfortable moving and aiming simultaneously. It felt really sloppy. And I've played every stage. I played through the entire game of Goldeneye when I was a kid. But I couldn't. I tried to play it again last year and I just couldn't. It felt like it was too much of a struggle to move and aim precisely. So Goldeneye frustrated me, and you saw me try to play Forsaken on the PS1. I just thought it was maddening. It got to the point where I was afraid to move forward or backward because I would get totally, turned around. So it was just frustrating. But here I am trying to play the game on the N64, and I said, you know what? Let's just see what happens. I started out with the default control scheme, and it seemed to work. So that I got completely killed in the multiplayer matches, in the death matches. But I played the single player campaign for about 20 minutes. So you know what? I feel a lot more comfortable with these controls. Remember, keep in mind, in the death match, I was playing on a very easy difficulty level. So I was willing to practice against very easy AI opponents, and I got killed. I didn't bring down a single enemy. But I had a lot more success in the single player mode with this default control scheme. Now again, the PlayStation 1 version has full key rebinding, but none of the bindings work because there isn't a way to you can't adjust. I don't remember being able to adjust the sensitivity. I'll go back and check the control panel on that. But I didn't feel comfortable moving my ship at all ever. But here I am playing the N64 version, and I'm looking at this setup, and I'm like, none of these look good. But I'll play with it. I'll see how comfortable I can be with these 4 preset control schemes. Because, again, you cannot rebind the controls in this game. So I was very worried at first. But Style 1 seems to work for me. In fact, let me go back to that. Because that's what I was doing when I was practicing with the game before I started recording. Use the control stick to move up, down, left, or right. That's fine. You move your nose with the control stick as well. And you turn with the control stick as well. Stuff I'd never felt comfortable doing on the PS1 controller. I have to admit that. It feels a lot more comfortable here. I don't know what Probe and Iguana did, the developers of this game. I don't know what they did. But somehow they refined the controls with the control stick, so that feels a lot easier to move around than it did in the PS1 version, despite not having the level of key rebinding options that game had. This game pins you down to these 4 styles. But I seem to be a bit more comfortable with these. And the game seems to be a bit more forgiving on the auto aim. So I'm curious how I'm going to be able to play this game for the next 20 minutes. So you can move forward and backward with A and B. So it's like a driving game in that sense. Strafing with the C buttons. I haven't been using these very often. On the PS1 version, I didn't feel comfortable moving with the D-pad. So I mapped the D-pad to strafing and sliding controls. And mapped the turn buttons. I mapped the turning controls and the nose up and down controls to the buttons, to the face buttons. Because again, I didn't feel comfortable using the D-pad for moving and my nose and turning. I felt more comfortable mapping that to the buttons. Here, the control stick does all the turning and the nose directions, and so you're moving your nose with the control stick. I feel a lot more comfortable doing that here than I did on the PS1 version. Z button underneath the control stick is for firing your regular weapon. R button is used for the secondary weapon like your missiles and such. I'm not using the nitro yet, I'll worry about that later. Cycling, you have to use the control pad to cycle weapons up and down. Yeah, you know how people hate this controller because you have to use three hands? You don't need 3 hands. This isn't Total Recall. You don't need 3 hands. But it's very hard to switch weapons on the fly because you need to take your left thumb off of the control stick to move the control pad up and down. So that, or left and right. So you can change that if you want. I mean, there are ways to cycle weapons without taking your hand off. Like here, you can use the control pad to move. You can use the control stick to adjust your direction, which sounds as bad as the PS1 version, to be honest with you. But you have that option if you want to let one of your thumbs do that sort of control, you can do it. But I'm surprised the compromise worked as well as it did, since they don't allow you to rebind the keys. I'm somewhat surprised by that. I'm not going to do the multiplayer mode in this video, but I did at least want to show you how comfortable I am moving around with a regular player. I don't know if these bikes are all different, but I've been playing with Locusana. So we're doing the campaign mode. After 7 minutes of blathering, I'm going to see what I can do about getting back to where I was before when I started recording the video. Again, I played for about 15 minutes, and I felt a lot more comfortable moving around in this game than I did when I was playing with the PS1. So I'm curious how this is going to work out. Again, B to reverse, A to move forward. Oh, let's go down. I'm using the control stick to move my nose around. So down on the control stick to point up, inverted flight controls basically. Hold up on the stick to point your nose down. You can press B and A to move around. Now I'm not worried so much about sliding. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this like a car. I'm going to drive around. And my very first enemy is pointed right on the ground. So let me see if I can slide around a bit. Let me back up. Up. Move the nose down, and slide around with the C stick. I'm going to use the C stick controls to slide around. See, I'm going to use up, down on the C stick to slide down, up on the C stick to slide up. Use left and right on the C stick to slide to strafe left and right. But I feel more comfortable actually, driving with the A button to drive forward and backward. And I slide occasionally, but I don't have to. Okay, I got him. See, again, maybe the auto aim feels a bit better in this game. I'm not sure. I'll see if I can get to the bottom of it. I'm going to need a couple of research videos to get a hold of how the control here compares to the PS1 version. The PS1 version is very cheap. I want to say it's like $5, maybe $6. Did I get him? I got him. Got him with a missile, looks like. Okay, in this stage, I'm taking out enemies. There are 22 enemies you can see on the top left-hand corner of the screen. So I'm going to try and whittle them down. As you can see, compared to the PS1 version, the tunnels feel a lot tighter. Not sure how I feel about that. But again, using the control stick to point my nose, up and down, left and right, moving around and sliding around doesn't feel that bad. Like, I feel a lot more comfortable turning like this. I never felt comfortable turning or moving my nose in the PS1 version. But here, I actually feel somewhat comfortable doing it. And I didn't think I would be comfortable doing it, but here I am. I'm taking some hits, though, so I have to keep that in mind. I don't know if what we slide around. So again, I'm moving my nose and sliding around, see? I'm kind of circle strafing a bit. So circle strafing, you can't actually circle strafe with this N64 controller, which I didn't think I'd be able to do. Again, I'm not doing it well, but I feel a lot more comfortable doing complex maneuvers like that compared to the PS1 version. Again, I'm shocked. I thought I was going to like the PS1 version better because I thought the N64 controller was going to be a cluster. But I'm moving around pretty well in this game, and the game seems to be pretty forgiving as far as the enemies are concerned. And the auto aim seems to be pretty generous too. So I don't feel so bad about moving around like this, flying around like a lunatic. In fact, it's a lot more fun to fly around in this game than it is in the PS1 version, because I feel a lot more comfortable making maneuvers like this. And sliding into the wall doesn't seem to be as punishing because, again, I was trying to be precise, but because hitting the ceiling or the floor caused me to move around like this. But I would completely lose my bearings in the PS1 version when I was sliding around like this. But here I am flying around like a lunatic, but I still sort of have my bearings. So I feel a lot more comfortable making these sophisticated maneuvers with the N64 controller. Again, which I was not expecting at all. So flying around feels a little bit better than it does with the PS1 controller. Again, surprisingly so. Shield critical, so let me get the heck out of here. Again, I feel more comfortable running away like this. Whoops. Let me get out of here. Too many enemies here. And there's a turret up there, so let me stay away from the turret. Because this might be a safe spot, or safe-ish spot. Again, moving around doesn't feel as punishing as it does in the PS1 game. Because it doesn't feel like if I press a button, I'm going to overcorrect. It feels like I'm not oversteering. I don't have to overcorrect as much in this game. I guess, again, maybe because the level of precision is more forgiving. The sensitivity is a bit better. So I'm not constantly holding the button down too long and hitting the ceiling or hitting the floor and moving forward and backward when I don't mean to. So again, just moving around just feels a lot more comfortable here. So I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put that on my bucket list. Things I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting the N64 game to control as well as it does, and here I am, flying around and having a reasonably entertaining time doing so. So we'll see how long this feeling lasts. But okay, I didn't mean to do that. Let me run away. Again, that maneuver I just did. I would have flown around like a lunatic for 2 minutes trying to get out of that room in the PS1 version. It just felt that much more difficult with the PS1 controller, with the control scheme that I chose, because it was the only control scheme that felt natural to me as far as the sensitivity of the controls. So here I am moving the nose of my bike and making, I'm doing circle strafing with the N64 controller, which I didn't think I'd be able to do. I want to say this is the first time I've ever circle strafed an N64 game. This is in a 6D game. I mean, I should be able to do this in Goldeneye, right? Well, here I am doing it in Forsaken 64. With this clunky N64 controller. I mean, I'm gonna give the developer some credit. Whatever they did to refine these flying controls, I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but they are very good. They are okay. They are above average. So this game passes the smell test. It passes the Miyamoto, sniff test, and I won my first mission. Again, the game doesn't feel nearly as. This felt like a big old arena. It didn't really feel like the first game. The first game felt like a corridor that was kind of flying through and facing enemies a little bit at a time. Shots fired. Yeah, we're not focusing on shots fired. We're not going to focus on precision in this video. It's a research string. Completed. So you know what? I'm shocked. I didn't think I was gonna like this game. It passed my 15 minutes of game test. So I'm gonna bank what I've learned so far. Before I do that, have I already saved the game? Let me do multiplayer mode just for a quick bit. Max frags. I'll do 2 CPUs, so you get to see what the options are. Okay, let me try out the photoid. See, we got a Nimsu Sin and Lucasena. Look, they call her Lucasana, but it looks like Lucasena to me. Mission, okay, whatever. CPU, that's the hardest CPU. We're not gonna do that. Let's go very easy. Frag limit, and we'll go 5. We're gonna hide the CPU because what happens is, if you set hide CPU to off, it's going to show the windows where the CPU is located. There's no radar, by the way. So you're going to see, so there's my window at the top half of the screen, and the CPU's windows are going to take up the bottom half, the bottom 2 corners of the screen. The obvious problem with that is that's probably going to kill the bit rate. It's probably going to kill the frame rate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the CPU so that all the processing power is spent on my display and maybe the AI, without having to worry about, you know, the 2 small windows at the bottom of the screen where the other CPU, where the other bots are going to be. I don't think the PS2 version had bots, so I looked at it. I think I needed a second controller to play the game, and I didn't have one on the PS3, so I'll probably pull out the PS1 version again just to kind of muck around with it. I don't know what light ships means, by the way. Okay, we'll play in the alpha, whatever. Okay, I'm not gonna use the. I don't have a rumble pack, and I don't really care about the rumble pack. Okay. Hit me with a missile right away. Get at me, dog. Did I get him? Okay, he's gonna take a few hits, so I gotta move around. He's gonna take several hits. Stealth mantle, you know what's up. Back up. Okay, we got a firefight. Destroy him. I think it's very easy mode. Oh, come on, you tell me I'm not hitting him? I got no more missiles. Destroy him. Well, this is very easy. This is very easy mode, just so you know. Is he on my team? He's sitting right there. Why can't I hit him? Is he on my... No, okay, she's breaking up. Very easy mode. Okay, now she moves. Guess she got scared. Okay, I think she got some extra firepower. Okay. I tried. She took too much damage. Maybe I need a stronger weapon. Okay, where'd she go? Over there, maybe? I'll take that. Didn't want to get shot on the other side of that door. Oh, there we go. Wait, is that stealth? Haha, suck it. I see you. I'm coming for you. Probably not gonna win. I still don't have a hit. I still don't have a frag. I don't give a frag, am I right? I still like the lighting effects in this game. PS1 had that version too. Yeah, I guess the ship blew up. And I kind of like how the bike auto adjusts. You can get as if your bearing mattered, but I guess they always want you to know that up is up. Golden power pod. Scatter. No, wait. Is that a bike? Okay, I got a frag. I got my first frag. I got 2 frags. Look at me. Look at me. I'm playing on casual mode and I'm winning. How you like that? Trojacks. Look at all this loot. Holla at your boy. Got my first frag. Okay, what happened there? I thought there was a bike over here. Where'd it go? I have max weapon energy. What else do I have? Got an orbital pulsar. Someone shooting at me? Yep. No, you don't, son. Let's move around a bit. This is very easy mode, so I guess they're not going to move around that much. Destroy her. Okay, that's Locasana, I guess, so I got her. That might have been Nimsu Sin, I think. I forget. I got 3 frags. First to 5 wins. How many do the other people have? Well, the game won't tell me. One of these songs is actually pretty good. I just don't know which ones. This might have been the one. Yeah, this song's actually pretty good. Props to the N64 actually having some decent samples in this game. Yeah, take that, Graham Norgate. Whatever his name was. He did all the Rare games. He's on the N64 anyway. Did David Wise do any N64 games, by the way? It's an excellent question. I don't remember if he did any, to be honest with you. I think it was all Norgate. Crap. This is basically sample rock. Whoop, there he goes. See, you can tell these arenas are very tight because of RAM limitations. The game's pretty good. Did I win? I think I won. I got 5 frags. Yep, I did. The game switched to third-person mode. So I won the very easy deathmatch. Yay. Holla at your boy. Of course, getting all those weapons from my enemies probably helped me out a lot. So you know what? I'm gonna give this game an okay mark so far. It might settle down into something mediocre, but right now this game seems to be worth playing. Now that I found the control scheme that works, so I'm giving this game the advantage over the PS1 version, which surprised me, because apparently the PS1 version is more faithful to the PS1 game. But this might work out as its own thing. It's basically just driving around big arenas and shooting enemies so far. We'll see how it goes. But you know what? Color me shocked. I didn't think I was going to like this game, and here I am. I'm willing to give it a shot. Seems to be okay.